oh, I'm inspired. I go, you know what I mean? Alex goes, okay, but hear me out. What about Danny Trejo? Listen, I'm putting him in up in the Mexican category.
Danny Trejo's a bad man.
Listen. I put him up in the Mexican category. He you know what I mean? Even though you're being tongue in cheek right now.
She might be, but still, even though he's considered serious,
Machete.
One of the best moments in Anchorman, he's like, women can do stuff now, and you're gonna have to learn how to deal with that. Like,
that's one of my favorite things. That's one of my favorite things he does. But no, yeah, Pulp Fiction, a phenomenal film. The great Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, the great John Travolta, Ving Rhames. Listen, Tarantino making an appearance. That Harvey Keitel. My God, Uma, my bad, baby girl, Uma up in there. What a film. What a great film. I'm weird about him. No, I'm weird about Tarantino.
I'm weird about Tarantino.
He can listen. I love this damn podcast right now. This dude, okay. This dude, he got an eye like an eagle. Like he is one of the greatest technical eyes from film I've ever seen in my life. His shots are beautiful. His scenes are long, but they're some of the greatest acted scenes I've ever seen. He's a hell of a screenwriter. He's
an absolute master at building tension. Like even in the long takes that are like statistically you would say like these are boring because they're long, you feel like there's some sense of impending doom that's coming and you don't know what it is, and you're like, something horrible is about to happen. That's why I don't enjoy the show Breaking Bad that much. The production team is so good, the acting is so good. I get that it is a great show, but I'm always watching like, oh, I know some shit is about to hit the fan at any second and it's all going to go to hell at any moment. Even when it doesn't, I'm like, okay, that's how I feel about most Quentin Tarantino movies too. And I think that's what he wants you to feel like. Also, a little too many N-words for me. A little too many.
Yeah, that's one of my tropes. That's one of my tropes because it's one of my biggest hangups because it doesn't really drive the narrative. You know what I'm trying to say? It's just there. Even if so, any racial slur in a movie to me has to be positioned properly. And Lex, to answer your question, Jonathan Rhys Meyers is one of my favorite actors on the low. He's one of my favorite. I call him a utility actor. I put my actors in different places. He's a utility actor. I could put him in at any kind of place in the movie and he can make an impact. The Irishman is spectacular. The Irishman is so good. People think he's British. That's how good he is. He ain't never Irish. Everybody think he's British. Jonathan Rhys Meyers from Ireland. This dude, that boy cold, to answer your question. The great Jonathan Rhys Meyers. Lord have mercy. But anyways, Swilf, I said every part of Samuel L. Jackson does makes a character mean something every time. Listen, Wilf, you know where I'm, bro. Come on now. I'm gonna give me Forrest Whitaker over Denzel. Give me Samuel L. over Denzel. Give me who else I got over him? That's just me, man. That's just me. But y'all could take it for what you want to take it for. I'm all good with y'all. If everyone loves Denzel, it's like my whole Michael Jordan thing. Everyone I think they just say it because they're supposed to say it. You know what I'm saying? Like they just go and they say it. But anyway,
speaking of which, I already know this because I've actually had this conversation and someone told me this. Like there's like a, I don't even know what you would call it. White people think that like if they're like Denzel's great, isn't he? To black people, that black people are like, yeah,
they will, but don't do that to me in the elevator. I'll be like, yeah, because this podcast is going off the rails. I'm like, that's what you'll get. And then
like, just say you like him and move on. What are you talking about?
I'm like, nah. Because speaking of somebody who was going way too soon, the great Chadwick Boseman, he was nipping at his heels in record time.
Who brought him up?
Me.
Oh, okay. Occasionally we bring something to the table on this show every now and then.
I can't rely on the chat to make this show. We're the talent. I can't be hanging on them to curate this show, but they've taken over and in the best way possible. Stick around a while.
Another thing that proves that to you, a lot of people that I know thought that after seeing Black Panther, because that was the only reference they had about Chadwick, they thought that was his real voice. So, the first time I heard, people can say what they want about Colin Farrell. I think we're over-hating him now. I think.
Are we good now? Realizing he's world class?
Yeah, I think we are. Even though I was on the Colin Farrell train since Phone Booth. But
talk about it, one of the greatest performances ever.
But still, when they. For a lot of people, they had to hear him talk in an interview, and they're like, he's not American. I'm like, not even a little bit.
And he has like the leprechaun type Irish accent.
He literally carries around a pot of gold with him at all times. Hey, Colin, you don't have to carry that.
Oh, no one take me Lucky Charms. Oh, going to hell in a handbasket. I love you, Colin.
Now we got people want to talk about wrestling. We have a rundown for this damn show.
Oh, we do, I swear. But I like when it goes off the rails, Jack. Let's bring it. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
If anybody's just joining us, like we can tell you once again what we have scheduled to talk about.
Oh yeah.
None of that really means anything because we'll talk about whatever you guys want.
Absolutely, we can. I'll take the show over if you want. Jim, no, yeah, phone booth is. You know how hard phone booth is? He literally is like acting with himself. In the great Kiefer, so my favorite voiceover in the movie history is that movie, by the way, with Kiefer. Love that voiceover he does in that film. Like literally having someone in your ear, you have to act that man. That is quality acting, man. Damn, that's quality acting.
But I don't know if they're because of the way production is. If anyone knows anything about production, I'm going to venture to guess the whole movie was finished, and one of the last things they did was probably his voiceover because that's so important.
Yes.
So he probably played that off of Colin's.
Yep. No question. No question.
So likely when Colin Farrell is in that phone booth, there's probably a college kid with the script reading.
Some jack off in there sitting reading to him.
Come on, Evan. I'm passionate about cinema. I'm trying to live my hopes and dreams. Like, yeah, you're a jack off. Okay. Come on.
Like, come on, we gotta bring back the old stuff, dude. We have to bring back the old stuff. Nothing new is good. I'm sorry. Everything that we talk about is old and better. Think about how great those two words are together. It's such a good word.
Like a jack off? Like when you're like literally masturbating, like that's you? Like one stroke, that's you. Damn. That's pretty disrespectful.
Like bringing it in, guys.
Yeah, seriously.
I think that is so funny, man. We got to bring back the old disses. I'm tired of cancel culture and stupid shit. I'm gonna say whatever I want to say about black people.
There it is. The intention tonight was to rank the top 5 to 10 greatest TV characters of all time.
It's going down.
We do have a relationship topic. We're going to talk about, is marriage even realistic in 2024 and beyond based on society's norms? Evan and I are even going to talk a little race relations tonight.
Ooh,
very interesting. We've never talked about this in a public forum. Something we're going to test out, see how it goes. It could spark a lot of controversy, but that's not the intention. The intention is to understand each other better on a cellular level. So,
good stuff, Eric. For real, great movie. That's low key. Is Mallrats, an extremely low budget, possibly kids. Yeah, great film. Mallrats. If you don't connect with Mallrats, it's only for people of a certain age. Because truly, and I don't mean that's a bad thing. To me, the greatest movies are those that are close to your heart because that. We hung out in the mall, like Eric. We're the age we hung out in malls. That was our escape. That was our getaway. Those references in Mallrats, to me, still Kevin Smith's best film. Just from who's in it, with what it's about, from structure. Michael Rooker before anybody gave a damn about Michael Rooker, the great Yondu before James Gunn embraced him into his bosom and made him a superstar like he deserved to be. There's so many great actors. Stanley making an appearance, God rest his soul. But the film is just so funny. Ben Affleck, he doesn't have a career without Kevin Smith. He'll tell you.
If you want ensemble cast, even though a lot of them are comedies, Kevin Smith's movies are usually a little deeper than that. Obviously, I don't know. He must have some stroke, or he must just be a friendly guy, which he seems to be because he gets everybody to show up for his stuff.
Yeah, it's because of how he treated people. But Ben Affleck was not considered a talent, and Kevin Smith kept putting him in films. As Ben Affleck, who he credits his career to as far as being a mainstream success. Lex said, "Yeah, my kids don't even know what a mall is. I rest my case." See, that's why Mallrats is so timeless. It's special to us,
and that's why
it's special to us.
Going to hell in a handbasket, Lex.
That's what's wrong with the world today. These damn kids don't know what a mall is, or we're doomed.
Nothing in our area in like central Pennsylvania lasts. Like nothing in Carlisle lasts. All the street festivals go to hell. The malls, but the Capital City Mall is still going strong somehow. So shout out to the Capital City Mall. Good Will Hunting is in my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Well, Good Will Hunting is one of the greatest movies of all time. Minnie Driver in there too, cooking. But the unbelievable, my good Lord, that movie is so damn good. Lord have mercy. But that's what I mean though. But right after that though, Lex, because he helped make the movie so he could put himself in the movie. But right after that, Ben Affleck, they were like no one saw him as a draw, unfortunately, after that movie. Matt Damon kind of took off, but here we go. Kevin Smith kept putting him in stuff. Next thing you know, he's a world-class director, and he's Batman. You know what I mean? Shout out to Capital City Mall.
Yeah, Capital City. We got Dick's now anchoring the one end, Dave and Buster's anchoring the other end, the bookends, and then the chapters in between, brother. But Capital City Mall is still going strong. So hey, shout out to Capital City Mall. Johan wants to know a movie that, before we move on from movies in general, he wants to know a movie that may not have done so well at the box office, but we still hold near and dear to our hearts. There's a lot. I don't see in my top 5 movies of all time is The Prestige, and
it's a great film.
If you've seen The Prestige and you know that twist ending already,
don't ruin it if you haven't, because it's my favorite Christopher Nolan movie of all time.
The fact that it is so simple is what makes it so great. And they even explain that. So if you're just like, that's it, you're like, well, actually,
that's it. The whole movie's a magic trick. That's why the movie's so good.
And the whole thing is, if once you know the secret, it's not that special.
Great film. My favorite Nolan film. Close to Inception. It's close to Inception, but the reason why Inception would have been in my top 5 films of all time if this asshole would have just made a decision at the end of the movie instead of doing that cheap, the cop out. Oh, he might be, he might not be. That's what kind of killed Inception for me. Prestige actually gives you an ending. Stop.
It did
Inception?
It did 109 millions out of $40 million budget. So I can't say it didn't do well.
That did pretty well. Yeah. But I know from a technical standpoint, people still don't really know about it. They
don't mess with it like that. No, but no. I'm Inception. I don't like vague endings like that. Not when we did that much work. Christopher Nolan thinks we should sit there for 3.5 hours and just rock with him the whole time. And then you got to give us. That would have been. When I was watching that film, I go, ooh, this could be my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. And then you want to talk about jacking off. Yeah. You want, and then he was double fisting it with. What kind of circle jerk was Tenet? Good God. That's a triangular jerk. Chat, did any of you see Tenet? What the hell was going on?
Oh my God! Listen, you know how many wars I've had with this one. Yo, shout out to Spike. I'm cropping this out, Spike. We can go at it. Hey, if something, with all due respect, you're not dope if the movie goes over people's heads. You know that, right? You know you didn't make that movie just for you and your wife, right? If you make that movie for just you and your wife, shout out to Boondock Saints, Jim. Phenomenal low budget film, and that is definitely should be on the list. That movie is turned into a cult classic. That movie cost $5 to make and made $5. That movie is phenomenal. Should have never made the sequel. Should have just left it alone. But listen, bro. Tenet went over people's head. The people that got Tenet didn't like Tenet. Tenet is not as smart as people think. That movie is terrible. I left that theater and looked at Heidi and I was like, that's all I did. Literally. I just looked at her and I said, you don't just get to be put like this. If you're smarter than everybody, if you're smarter than your audience, Dick, then you're making a mistake because they're there to view your movie. That's why I can't knock a Fast and the Furious franchise. Their only job is to entertain. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, bro, movies are supposed to entertain you. You know what I mean? Like they're not supposed to give political agendas and stuff. They're supposed to entertain you and give you escapism. What the hell Tenet do? Tenet made me want to slap somebody in the movie theater, and I did it during COVID too. Don't be bringing me out my house during a pandemic.
Somebody in the chat, and I'm sorry that I didn't see who it was, mentioned the great Shawshank Redemption, which did only do 73 million at the box office. Great. It only cost 25 million. That's probably because those actors were still relatively young at the time, and they were basically in one location the whole time. So that's a way to save money. But you're right. You would think that would do like 400 million based on the critical acclaim that it got, and it is a great movie. But yeah, I didn't mean to usurp your point there, Evan.
No, we're talking. But this podcast is random. Yeah, but it's Lex said Bullet Train entertained me. That's what I'm talking about. Just a crazy, entertaining movie, Bullet Train. So entertaining. Dude, listen. This is what I love about film, guys. It's not about, that movie is dumb. No, if you're entertained, that's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that matters. I don't care what your favorite movie is. Were you entertained? Shout out to the great Maximus Decimus Meridius. You know what I'm trying to say? Are you not entertained? If you're entertained, that's the only thing that matters. I'm the snob. I'm the weird guy that can watch an artsy movie and then watch Tubi, a dumb B movie on Tubi. I'm the nerd. For the casual audience, you're supposed to be entertained. That's it. Stop overthinking it. The Fast and the Furious movie are terrible. Yeah, but they entertain people. Entertain people, man.
And also, if they're not for you, then it's relative.
You ain't gotta watch it.
Yeah, I checked out on that series a long time ago.
I checked out when literally God told them to stop making those movies. They took away Paul Walker. To me, him and Dominic Toretto, the movie starts and ends with him. The second that wonderful, wonderful man passed away, they should have stopped that franchise. That's how you know movies don't care about nothing but money. Don't listen to anybody. We're doing it for him. Man, shut the hell up. He is the franchise.
And it also lost the entire heart and soul of what it was.
That's what I mean. It's the heart and soul. That it's the friendship. It's the bond.
Oh, Big Trouble in Little China was a box office flop?
Yes, and that's actually my favorite movie of all time.
Wow.
Big Trouble in Little China is my favorite movie of all time.
And why is that your favorite movie of all time? And there's a poster on your wall. Why is that? It's
entertained, bro.
There it is.
Kurt, without Kurt Russell, that movie's nothing to me. He is hilarious from start to finish. Every single scene, every single damn scene is funny. Big Trouble in Little China cost $7. John Carpenter is such a beast. Big Trouble in Little China, Evan Mack's favorite movie of all time. Didn't say best, but my favorite, because I always go by what movies I just watch all the time. And I go, damn, I watch Big Trouble in Little China a lot.
Who mentioned Office Space? Because that movie's great. $12 million
Mike
box
Judge.
office on a $10 million budget. So they might have thought it was successful because it got its money back. And at the time on rentals and Redbox, which it probably took advantage of, you could make a boatload of money that way. So it might have been financially successful at the end of the day. And I think it's a great cult classic. And I think that probably led to a lot of the humor that we have today. I love Office Space. I'm just looking at a list of flops, but The Big Lebowski was a box office flop too.
Oh man, Will Foster, Fifth Element. Woo. That's on my top 10 all-time list. Fifth Element. Oh my God, man.
Another one that might be over people's heads. I think, a lot of times when people try to make a point about society in general or a social commentary, it tends to go over people's heads. It happens.
I agree. Good question though, guys. But yeah, we have some good answers out there.
Shout out to Jason Harshberger, just joined us on Instagram.
Yo.
Jason, we're on all platforms if you want a better screen. I know Jason is a responsible adult. He has real things to do, so I don't know how much time he can be on Instagram. But we are talking about, right now, we are discussing movies that flopped at the box office.
Ooh, Donnie Darko. Let's go, Kyle. Ooh,
I don't even know if that ever got a theatrical release.
Listen, Donnie Darko, with the most underrated actor in the world, the great Heidi Mack. I'm about to come on glue, Heidi. He's somebody referencing Jake Gyllenhaal. Heidi, you know how I get. You know how I get with Jilly. Boy's so cold. That boy is one of the most versatile actors I've ever seen. And man, Jake Gyllenhaal can play me. Now.
It would be an odd yet strategic choice because there is not a bad Jake Gyllenhaal performance.
There will, and you will never find one. You will never find a bad Jake Gyllenhaal performance ever. I said ever. It ain't happening. It's not happening.
He also seems
like he said Congo, one of the greatest movies of all time. Congo.
Sean Connery?
Congo, one of the greatest movies of. I know that had to be a flop. I'd be surprised. Congo is one of our favorite movies of all
that was
time.
based on, that can't be a flop, was it?
It was a novel.
Yes, was that a Michael Crichton?
Like I said, with blackface, I don't give a damn with what face. Jilly can play me. I put the black face on him.
Wait a minute. Congo, Tim
What
Curry?
You mean Brokeback? He's firing Brokeback, or you just referencing Brokeback? You better not be slandering Eric.
Wait a minute. Congo had Laura Linney, Tim Curry, Ernie Hudson.
Yes.
I don't know why I thought Sean Connery was in there. Let me see box office results.
Dylan Walsh.
$81 million on a $50 million budget.
Yep, kind of a flop because of production, promotion. Yeah. That movie is a classic.
So you have to understand, whenever they factor in the budget, they don't count marketing, which is another.
They do not.
Which is the whole budget times 2, typically.
They never factor that in. What you mean not? Speak English, Eric. I know you can speak English. I've talked to you before many times. Spit it out. I don't know what you're saying. Are you talking shit? Because if you're talking shit, we can unpack. If you're not, we can move on.
Alexa, what's up, young lady? Alexa, what's the best movie that you like that not a lot of people like?
Listen. Oh, yeah. I feel, exactly. I feel the money hairs on my neck going, woo, woo, woo. Yo, Congo got the lines. Stop eating my sesame cake. Like, let's go. Mr. Homokov, he goes, stop eating my sesame cake. Let's go. Congo is so freaking good, man. Congo. But anyways. Oh, yeah. Alexi says something else earlier, too. A really good question.
Hold on real quick. What is the movie, if it's not Congo, then what is the movie where Sean Connery says, I found the cure for the plague of the 20th century. Now I've lost it. What movie is that?
You're talking about League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
No.
Romancing the Stone?
He says, I thought he found the cure for cancer out in the jungle. Isn't that what Congo's about?
No. So Congo's about they're trying to take the sign language gorilla back to the jungle, but there's also supposed to be like the lost city with like diamonds everywhere.
Sean Connery jungle movie. By the way, The Rock is in a lot of jungle movies where The Rock is in the jungle. It's a weird thing. Look it up. Medicine Man? No, that's not it.
You sure? No, I think it is Medicine Man. You sure about that?
No, I'm not sure.
Are you?
For the plague of the 21st century. Now I've lost it.
Yeah, that's Medicine Man. That's Medicine Man. That's Medicine Man. 1992 for sure.
Why did I think that was Congo?
I know that's 92. I can assure you it's not Congo. I remember Congo frame by frame.
It can't be Congo because Sean Connery's not even in the damn thing. So, okay, I thought.
Yeah, Heidi said it's Medicine Man too. Yes, Medicine. 1992 Medicine Man for sure. 1992. Heidi Mack, 1992. Am I right or wrong? I have a weird ability at doing this year thing. It's weird. Heidi's like, what the hell? How do you know?
I know you do. So that's okay.
It's so weird. It gives us no money, but it's a cool parlor trick. Lex said, who are some of the best and worst characters of all time? That was her question.
Are we talking about movies or TV or everything?
Lex, what are you talking about? Break it down. Unpack it. It was just like a sentence, so I'm just reading the sentence.
Do you want to go? I mean, we have a list of the top 5 of each of our top 5 best TV characters.
So let's start that. Yeah.
So let's go. I'm gonna start I'll start with mine.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, this is who we think is the best or most effective TV characters. And there is no rules or regulations. Evan and I just have to stipulate why. You can feel free to agree or disagree. But this goes through at least our lineage of watching TV. And my number 5. Best
Yo, Manny, what up, baby?
Shout out to Manuel.
Ooh, Anaconda, fire movie though. So good. I can't stand J-Lo, but she's good in that. Ice Cube is finally a dialed back Ice Cube, I think, because he was still getting his beak wet, so he didn't start hamming it up yet. He's great. Jon Voight. Jon
Voight looks so. Owen Wilson's in there.
Owen Wilson, man, that movie is great. Anaconda is great.
I love practical effects, and they actually made those anacondas.
Puppetry is the most underrated thing of all time. I'm a Jim Henson mark. So anytime you use the animatronics and puppetry, I'm sold, daddy.
Those anacondas to this day look freaky as hell. I don't think I could watch that movie now, actually. And I used to watch it.
Oh, Lexington, I thought it was under your agenda. Yo, shut up. We're getting to it.
So I don't know. Okay, we're going to it, and then we're getting into relationships, and we're getting into racial relations, and then we're getting into the world budgets and politics and church.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yes.
So okay, so
we're gonna solve pie.
If anybody in this podcast does not or has not witnessed arguably the greatest contribution to television history in the history of Western civilization and also the universe, I will probably go out on a limb if I had to choose and say my favorite show based on replay value.
Heidi is going to pop when you do this, by the way, because she's going to agree with you.
Okay.
For sure.
So my favorite television program of all time, and I'm basing there's certain criteria for certain categories. A show that you can put on almost any episode is incredible. In season 1, it took them 2 or 3 to find their sea legs, to find their characters. But once they found them, they never stopped. And I've never seen a more effective, more entertaining show.
Unreal.
than
Unreal.
Parks and Recreation. It's not Parks and Rec. You can call it that in casual speech.
Yeah, you don't get to call it. You don't get to shorten it if you haven't been on the full journey.
You have to see every episode at least 14 times
before you're able to say Parks and Rec.
I've seen it so many times. I just say P's and R's. You know what I mean? So that's just the way I do handle my business. But for my money, and there's so many great characters on the show, but I'm not talking my favorite. I'm talking best. And it's not like she's not my favorite. Yes, I said she, and I can put her anywhere on this list, and I can tell you why, and I will. Number 5, greatest character in television history to me is the great Leslie Knope, played by the incomparable Amy Poehler. And the reason I love me some Leslie Knope, and there's so many reasons. Not only is she hilarious, not only did she help produce the show,
and Perkins.
That should not fact. And Perkins, I'm talking Perkins.
And Perkins.
Freaking Leslie Knope, in a time, in a space when women and young women all alike need someone that can look at an entertainment and say, she's smart, she's assertive, she's confident, she's goal-oriented. Oh, she's also, you want to be a mom? You can be a mom, or you can be a career woman, or you can be a myriad of both. She's not over-sexualized. I would argue that she's never sexualized, but she's a lovely woman. She sets a freaking example for any viewer of any age, yet she's still as hilarious as anything you've ever seen. Leslie Knope, number 5, can put her anywhere on the list. Amy Poehler, a career of great work. I'd hate to say that that's the best role she'll ever play.
It is. It will be. It is. It will be.
Although the freaking mom in Mean Girls.
On fire. On fire.
Are those daiquiris have alcohol in it? Oh my God, honey, no. Why do you want a little bit? Because I'd rather have drink in the house.
On fire.
I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
Our generation's Mean Girls was clueless, but don't get it twisted. I've hopped on the Mean Girls bandwagon a long time ago because I was still young. I was still in my youth. I was still in the pocket. So shout out to Leslie Knope, Heidi Mack's spirit animal, the great Leslie Knope. The one of the best parts about her character is her unwavering kindness, that she was able to break down everybody's walls and barriers and bring everybody together. And she's the only person that I know that makes you want to work for the Parks and Recreation Department.
Literally, I see Parks and Recreation. Yeah. Like vans drive by, I'm like, oh, I wonder if Leslie Knope's in there.
Like seriously, that to bring eyes, like it's a funny show, but she literally made you made you think you can do something. Kyle says that show has so many iconic characters though on the entertainment level. There's somebody for any generation. Yeah, that it's layered so well, Kyle. It's layered so well, bro. There's somebody from some. Listen, you want to talk about spirit animal, man? Lord, Ron Swanson to me could have got an Emmy every single episode. That dude is on fire.
Some of my favorite characters on that show are like the semi-reoccurring or guys that just pop up every now and then. But there is the glue that holds that show together is Leslie Knope. She has made me laugh. She has made me cry on the show. I've never seen anybody that makes
Valentine's Day.
Come on now. I've never seen anyone, but she's also real, even though she's so kind and compassionate and empathetic. She's also petty sometimes. She makes lists about who'd be a better best friend. But I love the fact that, like, yes, her and Ben got married, but she wasn't in like a bunch of different relationships. They didn't rely on that trope all the time.
It's just really good. Bruce, really good writing, bro. It really is. She's one of the most well-written characters in television history.
And without her, all the side characters don't hit as hard as they do. They're not as effective as they do. She grounds the show, yet she's still one of the funniest characters. I can't say enough good things about it. I wish there was more quality female characters on TV that were written that well, and I'm sure Amy had a ton to do with that.
Yeah, but create a creative input when you're allowed to improv, because she comes from a world of improv. Upright Citizens Brigade is where she really started cooking before getting on Freaks and Geeks, and then the rest is history. I don't want to give you guys a history lesson. I just like the give people their flowers. Coming in for number 5 for your boy, iconic caricature to me does not have to be a character that's real, voiced by a real person. Just pure joy, man. When we're talking about greatest of all time, to me, it's pure joy. I haven't watched anything for 20 years. You know what I mean? But I've watched this for 20 years. That's more than half of my life. And to me, the hardest thing to do is have a great front man on your show, because everyone always talks about side characters. That's why Leslie Knope is so powerful. We can talk about any character we want on that show, but the buck still stops at her. You know, I go over and over and over again. It was who's made me laugh harder than anybody. in the show Family Guy, and it's Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin makes me laugh harder than anybody. Besides the side character voice about, if I get targeted, I'm talking about that. I'll have like out of body experience, man. Whoever that guy is, man. Dear God, oh my God, he's the greatest side character voice in history. The random guy that does every voice in Family Guy. Anybody can find me the name of that guy, I will stalk this dude to get him on this show. I'm obsessed with him. But Peter Griffin for me, so fun. I can't tell you how many times me and Heidi just sit there and we'll do like a Peter Griffin thing. For no reason. I don't do anything besides Parks and Rec and a few other shows, but randomly I can send her something like that Peter Griffin would do. And she's seen it a million times and I will still send it to her. And man, boy, do I love Peter Griffin from Mac for number 5. This list was very hard for me to make. So yeah, like how do you go? Peter Griffin, how do you just goes, Peter Griffin makes me cry. I go, no one can do that. Nothing can make me cry. I mean, tears, legitimate tears. It's just, I have out of body experience watching some of the Family Guy, especially the early years. So give me Peter Griffin at number 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna flop two of mine for a specific reason, because I'm gonna put who is the Peter Griffin of my life into this as at number 4 for me. And number 4 for me is Homer Simpson for the same reason that you said. Now I will admit, Evan and I have this thing, and we agree on this. Just because you were first doesn't mean you're the best, and it doesn't mean that you're better. In 99.9% of cases, I agree with that. The only reason I put Homer Simpson over Peter Griffin is because I grew up on The Simpsons first. I have more knowledge of watching every episode, where I will say The Simpsons needs to be detracted from. And yes, it's been on for 32 seasons. Incredible. But there's probably 6 or 7 seasons that are not good. And I don't know of any Family Guy episodes even that aren't at least laugh out loud funny like 5 to 10 times. I don't know of any. So will I say that Family Guy has usurped The Simpsons as far as like pure hilarity? I will. Will I say that you could take segments out that aren't even really correlated to the narrative of the show? Yeah, and some people like Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who write South Park, say that's a negative against Family Guy. I don't know why. It's different strokes for different folks. But
what do they say?
They say that Family Guy is not funny. They hate Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who I think are geniuses as well.
They are geniuses.
They hate Family Guy.
I kind of hate South Park, but I understand where they're coming from. But see, I can acknowledge genius and still not watch your shit.
Yeah. So they, in their opinion, disagree or not, you'll at least probably appreciate they give an in-depth reason for it. Now, in my opinion, what they don't say is like that show has probably usurped us as far as popularity, and that's why we're pissed. Just
make your cartoon and shut the hell up. How about that?
Yeah, and they make millions and millions. So they say they don't stick to a narrative structure. Each episode in and of itself does, and they say, what about the random cutaways are just gags?
Yep.
But that's also a genre of comedy, is it not?
Yep.
So,
one of my favorite things is the Three Stooges. The whole thing's a gag.
Yeah. So look it up on YouTube. There's interviews where they go hard at Seth MacFarlane.
Well, they can go hard all they want, but like I said, it's comedy. I laugh. I just want to laugh.
Yeah,
they have a story that's a beginning and the end, and they do bits in the middle. Let's not overthink things here now, guys. It's just a cartoon.
Evan, how many times have you sent me a 30-second clip of Family Guy, and I don't need any context?
You have no context.
Doesn't need it. So on The Simpsons, you probably need the context of the episode for it to be funny. But I will say I put Homer Simpson there, and in most cases, Evan and I agree, just first doesn't always mean best. The first guy who made a chair doesn't owe it.
If I showed that asshole a lazy boy, he'd probably poop his pants.
Right. So The Simpsons to me was one of, if not the, and there was all kinds of other shows first, but the first one that I had experience with was like the all-American family, the lazy dad, the overworked, unappreciated mother, the renegade ragtag son, and then like the studious daughter. Homer was that
genius, bro.
Homer was that for me. But whereas The Simpsons lagged, the Family Guy sort of picked up and pokes fun at society in other ways, but they're both social commentary shows, and I love them both. But to me, I have more experience with Homer. So number 4, Homer Simpson for me. You can swap Peter Griffin in there, and that's fine. I relate to The Simpsons very much, but I know there's been some bad seasons, and it's a show that I don't really watch a lot of anymore. I reminisce back to the old episodes. So if you want to say it's jump the shark, you could say that. Whereas Family Guy, I don't see ever really going anywhere.
Well said. Shout out to Homer Simpson. Eric says Simpsons is creative, but Family Guy is more creative. We can debate that. Because I don't like putting things against things that are equally as great. That's why I don't know why two geniuses are taking shots at Family Guy. That's weird to me. But
Trey Parker and Matt Stone love The Simpsons, and The Simpsons are like, we love all of them. What the hell?
Yeah, like guys, calm down. That's why I love when Seth got the chance to do his Simpsons crossover. The whole show was about him stealing from Simpsons. It was genius. It was a genius idea, but to me a genius. Seriously, like he made that whole show about him ripping off all of Simpsons. Like that's how you pay homage to greatness while still having a great show. But what we doing here, guys?
And by the way, since we were talking about entertainment and being accessible to the masses, I'll bet you 35 to 40% of the Family Guy audience has never seen a Simpsons episode.
That's fair. That's fair. Number 4 from Evan Mack. My goodness gracious. Listen, I can't tell y'all if y'all listen to this podcast still, y'all in the chat still. Let me tell you how much this was almost hard for me to put him number 1. This is how much I love this character. I had to just out of respect out of everyone else, I had to not put him number 1. But Heidi Mack, you know how much I love this dude. I cannot tell you, like legitimately. It's the funniest character. This is the listen. My God, he's number 4. He's number 4. I swear. Because if I dwell on this, it'll go to number 1. Listen, I've never seen a character in the history of television besides the one that's probably on Jay's list. The only one that can do it, that can pop in a scene and have almost sometimes only 30 seconds to a minute and steals the scene. That is near impossible. You have to understand, how can someone make a comedic impact in less than a minute? If that was a game show, I don't know if a character can do it. Seriously. And the character that does it every single time he's on the show, tell me you would not watch the spinoff version of Jean-Ralphio pulling up. Are you kidding me? Jean-Ralphio Saperstein, piggybacked by Mona Lisa Saperstein. Those two could have a buddy cop movie and I'd watch 10 sequels. 10 of just the great Ben Schwartz. Riffing and improving and losing his mind. Jean-Ralphio is to me the greatest side character in the history of television. Ain't even close. It ain't even pull up Jean-Ralphio in YouTube. Just pull it up. Every single scene is iconic.
Yep.
Oh my God, man.
Ben Schwartz.
He's
my favorite character on the show we just got done talking about. Only because he wasn't on every episode, but you'll never find a character that makes a bigger impact in a shorter amount of time.
I've never seen it in my life, dude. Hey, I'm gonna start with a joke. Vince Vaughn quote. He goes, swingers or crashers? He goes, Fred Claus. That's improv gold. Do people have any idea how great that kind of improvisation is? He picked the most obscure Vince Vaughn movie on the fly in real time, and they kept it in. That's not in the script. Fred Claus?
I highly urge everybody to seriously go, because you can watch his whole catalog.
You can watch his whole thing
in like 15 minutes. And
think about that. You could watch almost every scene he's in on YouTube in 15 minutes. What's that tell you? In a show that lasted like 8 seasons. What's that tell you? That's called impact in record time.
So I know,
Jay, you just said it. Jay, who has better comedic greatness in 15 minutes?
I don't know. Not a character that I've ever seen. So that's why
it's just how he said, "Don't be suspicious." How he goes, "Don't be suspicious." Hey, mustache. Go ahead.
I mean, that's why.
Yo, Jay, do the Jay shot line. Do that shot line he does. Do that one
God.
line. Do that line when he's talking to Ben.
he says, "Oh my God." He said, first of all, get yourself a bigger tie. Your head looks like a fish. And he's like, I hate the name Ben. Your new name is Angelo. Nope, I hate the name Angelo. Your new name is Jello Shot. What do you think about that, Jay Shot? He gives him 4 different names, and then the name he gives him a nickname for the new name he just gave him in 15 seconds.
That is improv genius.
So if you don't know who Jean-Ralphio is, and then you probably never saw Parks and Recreation. The one I just praised Leslie Knope for being like the cornerstone of, which she is. Jean-Ralphio is such an effective side character. They gave him like a post, like an epilogue at the end of the show. And his sister is almost as damn good as
It's
he is.
close, bro. Money, please. Money, please.
Oh no, there's no money. To a guy she's never met.
She's like, money, please.
He's like, Ben, give her some money. It's faster. She's like, oh, she's like, oh, that's fine. I'll just destroy this office.
She goes, would hit, hard pass. I cannot stand this show, man.
When she sees Swanson, she goes, would hit.
Kyle Shepard goes, I don't think he has a single line that's not hilarious. Dude,
He doesn't.
I never seen any dude. John Ralphio. Oh,
I just didn't want
goodness.
to. I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole. And he's not. I don't even know. He's not even a side character because he's so good. It's just, oh man, he's my favorite character on the show ever. And
Oh my god!
there isn't a character I don't like on the show at all. But
Damn, that dude is so fun. My god, man. But anyways, moving on. Dear Lord, dude. Money,
yeah.
please. Like, money, please.
So I'm actually gonna skip my number 3 because you're gonna talk about this person later, and we'll talk about her at the same time. Talk about
Sweet.
this person at the same time.
Sweet.
So I'm gonna go to number 2, and this is this might surprise some people, but my number 2 favorite, and it's also one of my favorites, but who I think is the best for a lot of reasons. And this is gonna sound crazy, but in the same way that I think why Leslie Knope is so effective, and it's a very different person. I got Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Okay, you know where I'm going to go. He's hilarious, right? I watched this. I look forward to this show as a young person so much when it was on NBC, and then when it got into syndication and reruns, I would watch Fresh Prince for like 4 hours a day after school. And to get somebody who was from Philadelphia into Bel-Air, so you get like sort of the hood coming to like a rich neighborhood, so you get that influx of that culture. You get a young black man who is portrayed in such a positive light for the most
Yes, sir.
part. No vulgarity, no oversight. He would hit on some women every now and then, but he would do it in a funny,
He's like, that was like,
way.
he's a dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Will Smith, always charismatic, always hilarious, a positive role model. One slip up in his life and getting probably with the wrong woman over the past couple of years, but that's neither here nor there. I just think, again, as a young person, and especially someone like myself who grew up loving, I don't know any other way to say it, black culture, hip hop, sports, the people I hung out with, like Evan and people at the Y. And then I see a guy like Will Smith, who's as cool in our perception, somebody we would want to be like, right? Someone we'd idolize watching, but he's not talking about bitches and hoes and blunts and my car is better than yours and I got more money than you, I got more drip. I mean, he's swaggy, but it's in like a tasteful, wholesome way, but he's still cool, sets a good example. And now let's talk about it. Tell me every person in this chat has not seen the scene where he talks to Uncle Phil.
Dylan already posted it. Dylan just posted it.
And he talks about his father walking out. And then that's when Will Smith said, I'm not just some one note sitcom.
That's when that was his arrival right there. That's when he arrived.
I didn't know Dylan posted, but Dylan's always ahead of the game.
But Dylan goes, how come you don't want me, man? It still makes him tear up. I go, every time. Every single time I watch it.
I got chills right now just thinking about
dude. And James Avery hearing the story when Will tells the story, and he's like, he so a lot of people don't know because we didn't know. We didn't go to the live taping. He like messed it up a few times. And James Avery pulled him over and was like, you can do this. And like, so he kind of gave him like a talk like a dad in real life.
Wow.
Then, so the take that we see, I'm going to send you this clip. It's a great clip, Jay, of Will talking about it. Then the clip we see is the take after James Avery gives him the pep talk.
No shit.
Dude, when he tells that story, I get goosebumps just telling the story.
Wow.
And then, so when he cries. He said James Avery whispered in his ear on that set, like during the take, he goes, now that's fucking acting. That's what he says. Like, that's nuts. That story gives me goosebumps, yo, because he was passed away by then. And he told that story. I was like, so he messed it up. So for him to get to that moment, That's when he arrived, bro. That's when he arrived. Like more levels than people think. That's when he arrived.
And that's on a sitcom with a traditional old school 3-camera setup. And we get that kind of comedy and drama. And each story, each show had like a narrative weaved into 30 minutes. That's hard to do. Today's television is so sophisticated, but that really just relied on, it was the same setup every single time. Very limited takes because they film live to tape most of the time. They'll do a little bit of editing, but like Evan just said,
not much.
But like you said, even though that took a little bit to get there, that whole take that we see is one continuous take. So eventually,
that's all you need to know. It's exactly. And I don't care. This ain't theater. I love theater. Theater to me is the purest form of acting. But to get anybody there at any take is hard to do. That scene is iconic for a reason because he got there.
Yeah.
Don't nobody care how long it took him to get there. He got there. That thing makes me. I'm a 39-year-old man. If I see that right now, I tear up every time.
As soon as I get
Kyle said, I still think Fresh Prince is his best role. He has 2 roles that I think were better, but this is what got him there. Yeah, to me, without Fresh Prince, he doesn't get because he shows so many levels to his charm, his charisma, and his ability. That's what got him on Hollywood's radar. He was always destined for Hollywood, though. Some people are just great. A lot of people don't know. So not everyone has the struggle story. He got there, had like a meeting with somebody. They put him on Fresh Prince and made the whole show about him.
Let's not forget he had some buzz from his music career already going into it.
Yeah,
so he had a little
rapper. Yep.
Yeah, but look, last thing I got to say because I love this character and I love that show so much. I could watch that show with my black friends, with my white friends, with my dad, with my mom, with my grandparents, and people were like, "That guy's great. This show's awesome."
Yep.
And that show is the type of things without even saying it. And this is what I love so much about art. Without even saying, we're going to set the tone and be a positive influence for black people and minorities. They don't even have to say it because they just do it.
Yeah.
And by making something that good with people that are that invested, that's how you change the world. Because you say like, oh, I thought this kid from Philly was something, but now he's this. And although he's a little rough around the edges, he needs Uncle Phil to father him up a little bit. Now he's here. And
so good.
Right before your eyes, you really literally see a kid grow up, and it's magic to this day. I'd watch it right now.
Alfonso's best scene is the fraternity scene. That's his best acting.
And he's like, "Why am I not black?" Because
that's his best acting. Amazing. He's unreal. He goes, "Oh," and he cuts a pro. Oh my god! Woo! Shout out to giving Alfonso.
He's like, "I'm not the sellout. You're the sellout."
Yes. I was like,
like Carlton's not a bad boy all the time, though. Carlton, come on, shout out to Carlton.
How huge put Tom Jones back on the map. Shout out to the great Will Smith for that. Yeah, I can't listen. I can't condemn his entire career for some one night of tomfoolery because I already know what the root cause of that is, brother. Yeah.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
But listen, coming in at number 3 on me and JMC's list at the same time, didn't even know we were doing it, is the great, the iconic, the incomparable, the phenomenal Lucy Ricardo. Yes, Lucille Ball. Proving that a woman can carry a show in a time where they didn't want a woman to carry anything but pots and pans to the kitchen. And she carried a bun in the oven and just cook and clean. And you know what Lucy did? She said, "I'll raise you one, Mac. I'll run a whole network, brother." Lucille Ball. I love Lucy, one of the greatest shows of all time. They wanted to put her with a regular square husband. She said, "No, my real husband's Cuban. It'll be funny. We can make fun of him. It'll be a great." Made him a household name, made him an icon. Without Lucille Ball, there is no Star Trek. I know that's not a TV show thing, but it makes me happy that she saved Star Trek. And yeah, bro, she saved Star Trek. One of the first people to create sponsorships in television and cinema. The cigarettes they smoked paid for the show. It ultimately took them out of this world, but they didn't know what cigarettes could do because everyone would lie about what cigarettes would do before then. Lucille Ball, comedic genius, the funniest person in the show, an icon of every stretch of the imagination, and I think it's very, very respectful to put her in at number 3.
I agree. Had her right there. Incredible. Another woman that just by being who she is, being herself, sharing her gifts with the world, set a positive example. When again, I hate to harp on this, and if ladies that are watching, if you think I'm wrong, please tell me to shut up. But I just think there needs to be more women who are appreciated in art and in entertainment for what they can do and not just the way they look. And the way they look is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Be proud of it. You should. But I see so many people on TikTok with millions of followers and they're like, oh, I did a lip sync today, or I stood there and went like this, and that's about it. And I'm like, and men do that too, but I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Aspire for more, please. Good God in heaven. So she was, yeah. So do your
number 2 as well.
Yeah. Where am I at? Oh, I only have one left.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 1 for me is like the in a lot of ways is the polar opposite of the reason I like all the other people who are positive role models and examples. And number 1 for me is just because he is so absurd and so ridiculous, and just all of us at our worst. I'm going to go with George Costanza from Seinfeld fame at number 1, played by the great Jason Alexander. I've never seen a guy who could flip the switch from being irritated to insecure to flat out pissed off, angry over the most mundane, trivial stuff.
Icon.
And you can't, and a lot of his humor, a lot of his lines was based on Larry David himself. So if you watch Seinfeld, every character's funny. The most normal Jerry, of course, but like without the Jerry and George, like the Kramer, as ridiculous as he is, and even Elaine, who's a little over the top, they're not the same. They need Jerry to anchor the show.
Yeah.
But George at all of us at our most insecure, at our most petty.
Mm-hmm. George is petty, boy. George is petty. He is Tom Petty.
George literally drove his wife, or his deceased wife's parents.
Justin in the chat says serenity now.
the ultimate pessimist, George, who maybe has no redeeming qualities whatsoever, if you really think about it. So
I have no hand. I
got no hand.
Oh, snap.
So, George Costanza for me. And again, this list is hard because somebody could say something like, oh, I didn't even think about that. But I'm just thinking about people that that resonate with me. And, man, George is up there with any of them.
My God, George Costanza. It's so funny. Coming in at number 2 for me, Larry David, the guy that George Costanza is based off of. Freaking Larry David.
Now, are you saying that more because of Seinfeld or because of Curb, or
because of Curb? The character. I just got to go by what I watch. When I made this list, I did it based on entertainment value and memories I've had and the joy I've had. That's how I made the list. So that's why all you guys' list, if you guys made this list with us and made your own list, and you guys feel free to drop them in the chat. I want to see all yours. I did it. I did it because literally Larry David, like Heidi knows it too. Heidi was like, Heidi said, I was waiting. Listen, as Leslie Knope's her spirit animal, my spirit animal is Larry David. I wish I could be I'm not joking. I wish. The reason why I am not the way Larry David is, and Heidi knows this, because I'm just like Larry David. It's insane. Because I'm not rich. He can get away with it because he's rich. Like, I have to still somewhat not be a dick because I don't have any money. Because if you watch Larry can get away with murder because he's a millionaire. You see what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. Like I remember when I started showing Heidi Curb, she's like, yo, you do that. I go, I know, man. Like, there's been instances, there's a part in the show, like one of the first couple seasons, where there's ladies cutting in the buffet line, and Larry David goes and says she can't cut in the buffet line. I've done that in real life. Like, because everyone just stayed here and let this woman cut. It was Harry Potter and the freaking Half-Blood Prince. And I walk in there. This is back in the day. And this lady, I walk in, I'm sitting down. This lady she goes, oh, no, you can't sit there. She takes her hand. She goes, these are taken, like that. I said, the row? She goes, I said, you can't do that.
All of it.
She goes, the people are not here. I go, you can't do this. She goes, blah, 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 blah. I said, I'll be right back. I went to the whoever the guy is, the usher, whatever. I said, yo, this woman in here is trying to take a row. He goes, what? He comes around and he was like, ma'am, you can't do that. And I sat my black ass as close as I could to her. That's a Larry David move right there. If I
That's
told
that's a whole episode right there.
that's a whole episode of Curb. That's a whole episode of Curb. That woman was tight. You can't take a row. This is before they did the assigned seat stuff. You can't do that. Come on now. Give me Larry David at number 2. Last season of Curb, unfortunately, it starts February 8th. It will be the last season ever. I just seen the trailer. I gotta show you that, Heidi. It's so ridiculous. But the last season, it's over. It's done. It's a wrap. Vince Vaughn's pulled up in the last couple seasons. He's provided a great element to it. Give me Larry David at number 2.
Since I had Lucille as well, we're all ready for your number 1.
Number 1 for me. I'm answering people in the chat. Number 1 for me. Tony Soprano.
Hard to argue.
Tony Soprano. I'm still showing Heidi Soprano, so I'm not trying to ruin anything for her. He's an icon, man. He's an icon to me. Every top 100 TV show list you will ever find that's made by a reputable company, and I mean reputable, not some hack, someone that actually can write. Every single one will have The Sopranos in the top 5 all-time TV shows. Think about that for a second. Everyone. I get pull them up, pull a list. They'll have it in there. They'll have it in there. Last time I checked, Rolling Stone had it at number 1. It's very, very the late great James Gandolfini. It's very, very hard to play a character that's a mafia like boss, a wise guy, a made man with a family that has vulnerabilities and has to switch from violent to off kilter to stoic to. It's one of the most layered, brilliant performances I've ever seen. Is Tony Soprano and by James Gandolfini. It's yeah, please don't ruin that for my wife. And to answer Dylan's question, the way the show ended, I thought was perfect. I thought it was a perfect ending.
I was going to ask you that too.
Perfect. Perfection. People think they know what they want. You don't. If you know what you want, write a damn show. The only show I bitch about that ended the way it did was Game of Thrones, because I have my right to bitch because the two creators checked out and they told everybody they checked out, and you could see it in their work. So I'm talking about when a show gets a proper ending, you can't criticize it. That make your own show. Then write it anywhere the hell you want to write it. But when you bail like these two jack-offs did in Game of Thrones, you could talk your ish. You know what I mean? Tony Soprano for me, front man. James Gandolfini going way too soon, brother.
Only reason I don't have him on my list is because I've only seen the first and the last season. I missed a whole lot in there. And I know how good the show is. I know how critically acclaimed it is. All those HBO shows at that time were just on fire. Shout out to Ari Gold, who could probably be on any list.
He could be on any list.
There's so many. So
talk about impact in a short amount of time. Second contender, Ari Gold. He's just a focal point of the show. So yeah, you know what I mean? Justin, what up, Chef? Top 5, Fresh Prince, Urkel, Martin, Ari Gold, and Dr. Gregory House. There you go. Boom. Ari made his list. As soon as you said that, Ari goes.
I don't know.
That's so wild.
I don't know if so wild. Here. Steve Urkel, man, like another one with cultural impact. I just met Jaleel White, though, and I was just like, what a dick, dude. Really?
He's an asshole.
So I was very disappointed. Now, that should not factor in to this, but yeah, for me.
They released the Dark Side of Comedy on Family Matters. It is phenomenal.
I want to see that tonight. Where do I watch
Jay,
that?
If you can find it, let me know, because I still can't find it. I just literally happen to be watching regular TV for one. Dude, if you can find it, please send it to me, because I got to show it to Heidi. Dude, it is on. I didn't know anything that happened on. I was like, oh my God. And it's going to like, oh my God, dude. It's unreal what happened on that show.
How many episodes is it?
It's just this one. It's just one, and it's on Family Matters.
It's on YouTube. You got to buy it though.
If you can buy it, you can buy it.
Yeah, yeah.
No way. Hold on. Okay, just cool. But anyways, yeah, Dark Side of Comedy. Dude is so good. You're gonna be like, oh, I don't like him even more now. It's gonna be worse. It don't get better. It gets worse. Shout out to Chef. Shout out to Zach Morris. You can't be sleeping on Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell was.
But if you really watch it back, a lot of people don't talk about this. Zach was a bully.
Zach was a piece of shit.
Zach sucks.
He's like a womanizer.
He is an asshole.
He's like a narcissist manipulator to his friends. He's like horrible to Screech. Horrible.
He's horrible.
I love that show. He's the worst. He's the biggest piece of shit.
Oh shit, where you going, boy? Yo, damn, my dude came in trying to look spiffy. Okay, Jose.
Oh yeah,
damn.
Justin, that was a different time, brother. That was a different time, and people didn't realize. I guess there was no social awareness at the time.
Now speak for yourself, Samoan Watchman. That's the tribal chief I acknowledge, my Samoan Watchman, because he pulls up in the chat. So my tribal chief, Samoan Watchman, said we all wanted to be him. Speak for yourself. I wanted to be AC Slater, baby. You speak for yourself. I wanted to be AC Slater. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So yeah, man. Good list. Let us know what you guys think. Man, I don't know. Zach Morris was he was that guy though. A lot of people did want to be like him.
Ooh, Justin says about the other Justin, Tony Soprano, Walter White, Omar Little, Ari Gold, Olivia Pope.
Omar Little is like Omar from The Wire is like on every list too. Wire is just a show that had so many ensemble cast members, and it's a show that I auditioned for and that I got a part on.
Yeah, because it's B More. Yeah, you were right there. You're writing the shit.
Worked on it, and I still just could not get into it at the time. If I could go back and watch, all those HBO shows are amazing. I'm sure it's a great show, and I'm sure Omar is like the staple of the show. But it was just so intricate at the time. I never really got into it, so maybe I got to go back and check that out.
Heidi said she had a crush on AC, didn't like Zach. I'll go, yeah, AC was a hard throb. Ooh, Will Foster said Buffy, my mother loves Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
A lot of people do.
Buffy's, my Buffy's always going to be the OG Buffy with Christy Swanson. Y'all, everybody's going to kick rocks. She was fine as hell in that movie. Shout out to Luke Perry, God rest his soul.
And if we're being fair, and we didn't put any wrestling characters in here, but it's hard to not have
Vinnie Mac.
Mr. McMahon.
It's TV. It's TV. Oh, Kyle Sheva said, give me some Stabler. Listen. Stabler is the shit. He's a little too aggressive with the perps, but give me Stabler for Law and Order. He's a great friend. I'm a Finn and Munch guy, and I like Boothang, Abbott. I like my lawyers. And Elliot, he blowing a lot of cases, Kyle. He's blowing a lot of cases with his tomfoolery. You know what I mean?
But I think the shock and all that's on everybody's mind and on the tip of everybody's tongue is that no Columbo on Evan's list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to me, Columbo's so great that he ain't on that list. That's how great he is. Try to keep up with what I'm trying to say here, ladies and gentlemen. Columbo is the greatest entity in television. He ain't no TV character. Listen, Columbo is, have you ever seen, have you ever gone in a place where there's like a shrine? If you go into a museum where there's a shrine, there's a whole bunch of paintings and shit in this museum, right? There's a whole bunch of masterpieces all around, right? And you're like, this is beautiful. And there's that one thing that's encased in glass, like the Hope Diamond, brother, and that's Columbo. It's a masterpiece. It is a work of art. It is Evan Mack's favorite TV show. It is the greatest detective of all time. I ain't putting it on the damn list. Anybody that knows Evan Mack knows Columbo is the greatest thing of all time.
Okay.
It's in it. Hell, what I mean in the museum? It is the museum. Columbo's the museum.
Now you know why he's not on that damn list.
Nah, Brock, don't get me started on Peter Falk. Oh my God. Same character, every single damn show, different, but he runs it. Evan, you know they remake every show, right? How come they haven't remade this? I go, because they know I'll walk up at the CBS and get arrested for trying to kill everybody in there. That's why. That's why. I've issued the gauntlet. You guys remake that show. I'm coming for your heads. Put me in jail because I'm coming for y'all. Leave my show alone. Ooh, Dylan, Michael Scott, Chandler Bing, Fonzie, Tony Soprano, Sheldon Cooper, not in that particular order.
Fair. I mean,
ooh, shout out to Murder She Wrote, Chef. Shout out to Murder She Wrote, baby, Angela Lansbury, Jessica Fletcher. Honorable mention, Matlock, go.
I almost put a lot of the names Dylan said on my list, but with Friends, I thought it was too much of an ensemble. Where I mean, Chandler was probably the standout, but it was just too hard to pick any one.
Yeah. Yo, John Norman said my whole list. Captain Jean-Luc Picard. That's my whole list.
Hey.
Captain Jean of the USS Enterprise.
You like, man. Lost is my favorite show like that of all time.
Yeah, no Lost characters, Jay. What the hell's your problem?
Again, too many. They all fill a necessary void that of a character component that needed to be there, and they're all great, but they complement each other so well that no one really stole the show for me. I have my favorites, but that's not what this list was about. So, who did Dylan said somebody that Walter White's on most of the lists. Yes, obviously.
Sheldon Cooper. He said
Sheldon Cooper. I haven't seen the show enough times to agree with that or disagree with that. Who else did he say? Because I felt strongly about somebody.
Fonzie.
I almost said Fonzie. I grew up watching Happy Days, and he's the first one that I can recall. There's always somebody on some show that like all the girls wanted to be with and all the guys wanted to be like, right? And arguably, yeah, obviously he was one of the first ones that I remember. So that trope of character, like the coolest guy in any room he walks into, he can literally start a jukebox by just elbowing it.
He's like cool. He's cool. He was cool before people knew what really cool was.
Exactly.
That's why that's good stuff, Dylan. You know your stuff, bro. Damn, Happy Days reference. You kidding me right now?
Yeah, took it way back. Damn. That's why these lists are fun and effective, man. Look, guys, you can chastise me all you want. I know how good of a show Breaking Bad is. It was just not my cup of tea personally.
See, that's how I feel about Denzel. I know he's great, but just all right. Yeah, all right.
But Evan, you're black. You're supposed to think he's held in the highest regard. That's
you like, wait, you mean, oh, I mean, you can't, what? I'm like, why are y'all fighting me right now, guys? Damn.
Honestly, like, and this will segue right into what we're going to talk about, but tell me that's how you know that we're not quite where we need to be. And this is not like an indictment because there's far worse things that people can do. But Evan, how many times have white people, knowing you're a film guy, knowing your background and your degree, and just knowing you and the way you are and the way you look, have been like, Denzel, am I right? Like you're supposed
more than 20 times. That's a lot. That's a lot, bro.
You're black. But I like Denzel, and I'm assuming you do, so we're cool, right?
More than 20, less than 50. That's still a lot, dude.
That's a lot of shit.
I can remember every single time. I go, yeah. You don't have to show me a black, because here goes the thing. Because to answer what you're saying is, like, here's the thing. You don't have to say a black actor to make me like you, because my favorite actor is not black. See, but you don't know that. Because you assume because of the skin tone, this is why you got to do. That's why you got to Martin Luther King it. Judge a person by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. Then you would know that I'm one of them brothers that don't. My favorite actor's not a black guy. My favorite actor's white guy. Like, you know what I mean? Because if you want to get down to brass tacks, but every now and again, somebody go, oh, did you? How about that Black Panther? And I was like, yeah. But you don't go, hey, what about Guardians? That's I wouldn't go that far. I can't, because you white, my best friend's white. I wouldn't go. Let's not go too far. You know what I mean? My wife's half white. Hold on, Easy does it now. I love my white people. I'm just talking about certain stupid people. Because I even got that from people that weren't white. Like anybody that's not black, I've gotten the Denzel question by multiple different races that are trying to relate.
So it's so weird. I think that's just still the part of it is just it's not even pure racism, guys. It's ignorance, and it's just being unaware. And that's kind of like why I wanted to talk about this. I actually texted Evan, guys, and you guys, the chat who makes our show what it is, you'll have to let us know if you want us to talk more about it, less about it.
This is gonna be good though. It's a good segue.
But so, Evan and I said, look, we got a black man, we got a white man, and our friendship of years and decades, we don't really talk about it because it doesn't come up, but we know it's there. So like, we could probably actually be beneficial if we talked about it. And I don't mean talk about it like let's storm the Capitol and take back
that's not what this show is going to be about. We ain't storming shit.
Let's try to understand each other better. So I was in the gym today and was just texted Evan this question that I'm going to ask him on the show. I'd love to know what everybody thinks. We talked about it in broad strokes, mostly with being women. Earlier in one of our first episodes when the show returned, about, in my opinion, it's very difficult to be a woman in society, more difficult than a man. So I said,
no question.
What do you think? And chat, please chime in. I said, is there ever?
Oh, yo, sidebar. Yo, Kyle goes, you hate white people if they remake Columbo. Yo, he got me. Yo, he got me. Yo, listen, when you get me, I admit when you get me. You absolutely right about that. Let somebody remake Columbo of your skin tone. I will lose my shit. But continue, Jay.
There's some shows that cannot be revisited.
Damn it! I swear he got me though. When you get me, you get me, you get me. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's fair. Good comment. So, Evan in chat rooms, is there ever a scenario? And this is going to be a segment that we do if you guys like it. We're going to frame it differently every week, but this one to set it off. Is there ever a scenario in today's society where it is more difficult to be white than any other race? And let's take it a step further, where it's more difficult to be a white male than any other race, ethnicity, creed, sex, gender. Does it exist in today's society? We'll throw it to Evan first. I'll come back and answer. Chat, chime in.
This one's tough. This one's tough for me, not because there's not a okay, but like this. It's almost like cheating, but it's not, because it is about race. It's almost cheating. But I have to go by what I've seen in this time that I've been on the earth. So the only time I've ever seen, and it's so weird, but it's true. You're gonna be like, damn, that's true. The only time I've ever seen where things are more difficult to be a white male is in sports that are dominated by black people. Okay. That's it's almost cheating, but it's true, because I've seen a lot of things based on race. I've been on pickup courts where somebody won't get picked up just because they're white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the one of the places on earth that the tables get turned racially in our favor is sports. The white males are looked at as less athletic, less talented, and not as good as their black contemporaries. And that kind of has made things, there's running jokes. Black folks got running jokes about people that in sports. We do. You know, but like this, why is it break news when a white guy dunks on a black guy? Why is that breaking news? It like they're like, whoa, like why people freak out when they see like a running back that's white and he's fast. Like it's because like there's these tropes that people have created to. It's so, dude, it's put like this. It's very weird. It's like a Twilight Zone thing. White males in sports, in our sports, football, basketball, not baseball, football and basketball, I've seen both sides where it is harder to be a white guy. How about that?
So you're 100% right in that aspect. That's something I didn't even think about, because with all
took me a little bit, bro. I had to find something.
And that is honestly, if that's all that we have to deal with.
And wait a minute, I'm right, ain't I? Well, you white and you play basketball. I'm right. Am I right? Yes.
Yeah,
right?
No, you're right, but I don't know. Maybe I look like I can shoot because I've never had that happen to me personally.
It happens.
Oh, no, it happens a lot.
Well, put it like this. How about this, Jay? Who are they picking, you or me, on the court? For real.
Oh, you.
And just picking people without seeing us play.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm picking you. If it's Mortal Kombat and there's like a mirror match and there's two of me and you, I'm picking you before I pick
But
me.
That's what I'm talking about. See, we're programmed. And I've seen some white boys cook on the court. You're one of them.
Yeah, but okay, so
Justice and Evan with the target. Let's go, man. You know I'm on my shit, Justin. Let's go.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that you're 100% right about that, but I didn't even think about that because I guess I was thinking in terms of like in the scheme of things, if that's all that we really have to deal with as far as being oppressed in any way, we got it pretty damn good. Because that's a scenario that doesn't happen that much. And guys, like the worst thing I have to deal with is, I got picked third in my pickup game today. It's not so bad.
Why do people freak out when Austin Reeves balls out? Why? You see what I'm saying?
Well, no, you're right.
They lose their mind. I go, he can hoop.
Or they think, the white guy can probably shoot jumpers, but he's slow and he's more strategic. The black guy's athletic and flashy and he can dunk.
My favorite white player of all time nicknamed him White Chocolate. The great Jason Williams.
So other than Evan's very astute observation, I was going to argue that there's not ever a time. And the reason that made me think, the reason,
interesting,
what you said is correct. I agree. Also, like I think you would also agree that that is a situation of minimal consequence in comparison to trying to get a job, trying to get a credit approval, trying to get an apartment, trying to qualify for a loan, trying to buy a car.
Fair.
Just walking down the street at night, let's be honest. So I thought about this because I've heard white people arguing with themselves, and saying like, oh, with all this affirmative action, they got to interview 3 or 4 black guys before they even interview a white guy anymore. The immigrants are taking all our low paying jobs. I'm like, do you want a low paying job?
No.
Are you going to work 18 hours like the immigrants are?
Society was always based on immigrant getting labor, cheap labor, guys. These companies hired the cheap labor they can produce more. Guys, you got to do your history. Since the beginning of time, the immigrants always made the things run because of it. It's cheap labor. It's all about money. It's not about color. Cheap labor.
So even if those scenarios are in play, and a lot of it's tokenism, for lack of better terms. Oh, we have to satisfy this quota. We have to interview so many people of color or women before we even interview anyone. X, Y, and Z. Even if those things are all rampant in today's society and workplace, it's still easier. I'm still perceived differently than Evan is, and I've heard people say to me, like, I'm going to agree with them, like, Evan's a good guy. He's one of the good ones. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's wild.
I'm like, one of the good what?
Heidi even got people that are like, man, oh wow, okay.
Well, what do they think you were going to be doing?
And it's not even her mother's fault, God rest her soul. She even said that when she seen when they're in Vegas, her lovely mother was even like, Heidi, remember? Her mom was like, Evan's parents are really nice. Like, she was so taken aback because of what she's dealt with my people. So even Rosita was still like, damn, Evan's mom and dad are nice to me. Mom,
right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Evan didn't rob me. He must be a decent guy. Like, so my
how you know Evan didn't steal some other shit from you? Don't know. You don't know what I stole. No, on a serious note, I know what you're saying though, bro. And listen, I'm gonna say something that's not that popular, but people don't want to know. I will say this. I never thought in a million years I'd live in a world where white people were afraid to talk. That's wild to me. That's wild. Like, things are getting a little extra here. Like, I never thought I would live in a time where a white person would be walking on eggshells talking to me. Now, I don't like that. I don't. Fair. I don't like power dynamics in general. All I care about is equality, legitimate equality. I do not want a white person that comes up on me thinking they can't say something about a black person. I don't like that. Because if I say something about a white person, everybody's just supposed to deal with that because I'm black. There's a lot of people in this world that have gone through this world that look like me that have not been oppressed, but people don't want to talk about that.
So
higher percentage of being oppressed, yes.
Okay. Everything.
But you know what I'm trying to say, Jay, is
oh, I know.
People that are brown automatically put themselves into this oppression thing, and that's not true. There's some people that live very charmed lives and don't deal with that. I've dealt with racism. Mm-hmm. A lot of people I talk to that want to have this chip on their shoulder like I do, they've not dealt with it. They haven't. Because I can always tell. Because I'll ask you, tell me your story. I think I don't like people that want to feel oppressed. I don't like that because people before me have fought very hard for that not to be the case. So I need you to actually be oppressed. Don't stop fucking around with that stuff. Seriously. It's victimization mentality. It exists. Racism exists. It has been recognized. It has been documented. It is not a fake thing. It's a real thing. Prejudice exists. We all have those, by the way. But to your point, Jay, you're going to be more privileged than me based on the color of your skin. However, if I take you to Africa, Jay, do things not get flipped? That's when you are in danger.
That's true.
You are in danger there. I'm just saying we got to be careful, bro. We do, man, because it's tough, bro. Is it tougher than me in America than you, Jay? Yeah, it is. Has Jay ever been stopped by a cop? Nah, I have several times. So yeah, you know what I mean? We can go there, Jay, but I'm not going to sit here and not. What I'm trying to say is, without dicking around, what I'm trying to say is, I don't want white people walking around acting like they don't have no problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because white privilege is typically something that people don't even know they have.
Absolutely.
And every time I argue with this about people that look like me, they don't have friends like I do. So they can't argue with me. So I don't know why the hell they do. How many white friends do you got? None. Then shut the hell up. I know white people. You don't. You don't even have white friends. How the hell you gonna tell me about a white person and you don't even got white people in your friend circle? That don't make no sense. So when I'm telling people that most white people that I know don't even know they have white privilege, it's true.
It is. 100%.
It's true. It's true. They're like, what do you mean? And the reason why they don't know is because they were just born that way.
A lot of white people make the mistake, and a lot of the reason that some of us feel afraid to talk is because white people done said a lot of stupid shit for a long time. And that's part of it. Now, another part of it is our society is very sensitive now, but we operated with impunity for a long time and thought that everything we said would be okay, and a lot of it wasn't. And at the end of the day, if someone was hurt by it, then we can alter that, and it doesn't really affect us. But we would feel like, oh well, we don't have to. Why? That's their problem. Not really. It's not going to affect your life, but it makes a difference. It makes a difference to that person. So why not do it? But to your point about white privilege is spot on, because people think, well, I'm not rich. I go to work every day. I work 8 hours. I bust my ass. I raise my kids. What privilege are you talking about? It's things that you don't even understand. We talked about it a couple episodes ago. I've done this in the middle of the night, walking down the street. I see an ominous black man walking towards me, and I was like, let me just cross the street just in case.
Jay, I do that shit, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But that seems like a minimal example, and it probably is. But that's something that I don't even think about how it affects that person who I just did that to.
Well said.
And it's like if I
quick question, Jay. Quick question.
Yeah.
If you were to be robbed by that person, what does that change your perception?
Only it can at this point. I know too many black people that I love, and too many.
Well said.
So I would say that is a person who's probably in a lot of pain, who needs a lot of help. Maybe they needed the money. I would try to take that approach. I would be pissed off, but I know well enough at this point, and I'd like to think that I always have, to know that I was robbed. I was a victim of that
because of opportunity. You were robbed because of the proximity.
And I it sounds very strange to say, but I'd like to think they would have robbed me if I was black as well.
Ah, well said.
And
most of us rob each other anyway. Our crime is on us more than anybody.
So to your point, I'd like to think that I'm educated enough and have enough world experience now to know that act is the act of a desperate person in an unfortunate situation. I don't think anybody wants to rob anybody, although like a lot of rappers make you think it's cool when there's nothing cool about it. But no, nothing could change my perception at this point. I've been disappointed and like ashamed to be white at times over the past 5-6 years, because when people look at it when people look at things, they group everybody into one category when they see one or two people of prominence saying stuff that's completely out of pocket and out of line. And the people that I've been around now who don't know a lot of white people will say, like, white people all think this, and that's not a fair way to frame it. But I can't really say that, because for the longest time, white people would group minorities into that same category in the same way and put unfair labels and unfair preconceived notions on them because of their interactions with a few people. That's fair. I can at least understand why they think that. Now it's up to me. Like we always say, like, Evan, it's up, you have an opportunity to break cycles, to change things. And you take advantage of that. So I can listen and be understanding, as opposed to trying to being all up in arms and offended by it. And if I know it's not true, and it's an example of a poor representation of a very small, hopefully, group of people that does not represent the feelings of the overall people, I have to set an example of that, and I can't be all fired up in arms and pissed off. I have to try to be empathetic and understand where they're coming from.
Well said. And like I said, I agree with everything you're saying. I don't think we were going to be disagreeing about this at all. I just got to have to offer a different perspective because it's incumbent upon me as a person of color to not always go with what everyone says because of how things are stacked. I'm gonna tell you why, because my perspective is always going to be different than all these brothers and sisters out here. Because like I told you, my circle is more diverse than most. I argue with people all the time that don't have a multicultural group of friends. I do. Hell, there's a Mexican guy coming down the stairs right now. You see what I'm saying? Like right on the cue. You know what I'm saying? Like cue. You know what I'm saying? So it's and so that's so like when I'm arguing with a person like me, a black person like me, like man, blah 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 blah. I go, how many Hispanic friends do you have? How many Asian friends do you have? How many white friends do you have? Well, none, but shit. I go, then hey, this conversation's over. You don't know the people, you don't know the culture, you don't hang out with them, you ain't been to the parties, you don't know the deal. So I needed what's called stupid thing wasn't taking freaking cash at the concert. I said, yo, Jay, I need cash to get my wife some stuff at the concert. Jay sent me money. That's a white guy sending a black guy money because he asked. You can talk about friendship all you want, but without that friendship, that don't happen. And I'm sitting there assed out while stuff's getting sold out because Rain was cooking. That's one example off the top of my head.
And you're there to see a Korean artist.
Heidi Mack, to tell the people in the chat what people have been the people that have stopped me from doing the things that I want to do the most in entertainment. What people, what they look like. Heidi, see, that's the thing people don't understand. My life and what I do, I is based on my experiences. And I'm going to tell you my experiences. I can tell you when I got into a movie and walked on the set, and the first thing the brother that was the star of the movie said to me was he tried to not get me in the movie because he found out I was black. Think about that for a second. That's insane to me because we're both brothers, right? Right? Nah, not right. So like I go by my experience. Heidi over here cooking right now. She goes, fellow black people, usually black men. I go, correct. Those are the people I've been dealing with. They've been trying to hate on me. So you're not going to get me walking around talking about this, that, and the third when the people that have oppressed me professionally look like me. So like I go by my experiences. I go by other people's experiences. I go by my father's experiences. You know how many people I talk to that are not old enough to know what my dad has gone through, and he has an optimistic viewpoint on race. So who the hell are you? Your dance wasn't segregated. Your town wasn't separated in the 60s. You don't know shit. So if my dad don't got to stick up his ass, hey, it's tough for me to have one. Truly, it's tough. Things are always going to be hard for a person of color, but we are in the golden age of that because people have busted their ass and literally died to make it happen. And I'll be damned if I sit around and act like that hard work and that sacrifice didn't pay off in some way. I ain't gonna be sitting around moping. They've done a lot for my people, and I'm gonna have to recognize that and acknowledge that. And damn it, white people stop feeling so guilty about everything. Shit.
Beautiful, man. I love this segment. I think it's helpful. Every week, one of us will come up until you guys tell us to stop. One of us will come up with something. I came up with that today, and
love it.
I wanted Evan's perspective. So
let me lighten the mood. Let me lighten the mood with my weird news for the day from JMC.
Please
Let me lighten the mood. Check it out. Your thought process on this. Man goes for a walk after an argument with his wife, doesn't stop for 420 kilometers.
That's going to factor in later. It's got to.
No, it's just that simple. The 48-year-old man from Como, a city north of Milan in Italy, reportedly got into a heated argument with his wife one day last month, stomped out of the house to go for a walk to clear his head. Nothing out of the ordinary about that. Only the protagonist of our story never actually stopped walking. He was only stopped a week later. Listen, by a police patrol car 418 kilometers away from his home. Check this out. The policemen reported patrolling the streets to ensure that people were complying with the nationwide curfew imposed. They noticed a lone man walking at 2:00 in the morning. They stopped his car and asked him a few questions and gave him a fine.
Wow. What?
I swear to God, dude. I swear to God. This dude walked. He was so pissed. He walked a week. He walked a week to get away from this woman. Jay, have you ever been that pissed?
I can't say that I have. And I've been stark raving mad before in a relationship. I give him full credit for removing himself from that situation that could have got ugly. There must have been something very, very volatile going on.
But oh, yo, what up, Miranda? What up, babe? He goes, bet he's even more mad at his wife for that fine. Yo, yeah, seriously. Like, yo, for real?
That's a fine for what?
Ginormous said, Italians in a long ornament? No chance. Listen, Dylan goes, that's 259 miles. This dude is the GOAT. I'm sorry. This dude is the GOAT. This dude walked 259 miles to get away from this woman. Listen, how could I be mad at this guy? What would you rather him do? You would catch a case? I think what he did was respectful. I think what he did was a testament to his greatness. Does anybody in the chat disagree? That's all about greatness. Real talk. You and I said you. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm still like, we're still live. But bro, so you tell me this, JMC. You've been in arguments, you've been in bad relationships, I've been in bad relationships. Let's be real. Let's say you at your youngest, most virile. What's the longest? How many miles would you walk to get away from? Think about the worst fight you ever had with one of the exes. Truly. Because I got a number in my head, but truthfully, give me a number you think you could walk. Everybody in the chat, give me your number.
When I wake up, I know I'm gonna be the man that wakes up next to you because I walk 500.
That dude was halfway to 500 though. He was halfway to 500. Give me a mile distance you would walk for real. If that was the way to clear your head. This dude walked to a different city in Italy.
That's amazing, honestly. Though,
dude's the GOAT.
The sheer discipline, brother. I gotta give the guy credit, man. I walked 2 hours. I walked almost to my parents' house from Mechanicsburg. To Carlisle.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's long, dude. That's like 20 miles.
Yeah. So I probably made it.
Did you really?
I can tell you the exact point on Simpson Ferry Road where I made it to before the woman who I was arguing with picked me up and said, "Get the F in the car, you fucker." and I was secretly tired as hell, so I was like, "I will get in the car." Yeah. So I would like to say that I would.
Did you really?
Go, yeah, man. But I did that because I knew the person that I was dealing with was not of sound mental capacity at the time. And I know that they can get themselves into a less than favorable situation. So I hate when people say, like, I didn't do that to protect me from you or you from me. I did that to protect whatever. I did that to protect what they might do. Sorry, Instagram. My phone I'm putting it on the charger. But yes, man, that's a remarkable
Dylan
story.
just said this man walked 37 miles a day. He broke it down mathematically. Miranda said, it's been a long time since I've been that mad. I don't know if I could give him mileage, but I'd say I could walk about an hour, then I'd be ready to go back home. And then Ginormous actually got deeper cut. He goes, and if you factor in the mile, if he had to walk back, that's 518. If they didn't give him a ride back. I'm like, ooh. To answer your question, when I was with the ex, I walked like 6 miles. 6. Think about what I'm saying here. You hear the stories we're telling, and it pales in comparison to the Italian G that walked 259 miles to get away from that trollop.
That's incredible. I mean, like, so where did he sleep and get back up and start walking again? Did he stop to relieve himself?
Let me see if we got more info. Continue. Keep going.
Did he seek any sustenance? Did he eat? Was he just laser focused on how irritated he was with his better half? Did they break up afterwards? Are they still together? What do you say? Did they have any?
Oh my God, they actually have the answer to your question. This is nuts. This is the quote. This is the quote from him. This is not. I did not think
this is your best find for this segment, by the way.
Thank you, sir. Listen, I'm getting better. Listen, he goes. I walked all the way. The man said, I didn't use any means of transportation. All these days I survived on food and drink offered me by people along the way. He goes, I'm just a little tired. This dude's the GOAT. This dude is the GOAT.
So he must have literally been walking, looked so downtrodden, irritated that people, because when you see someone walking, you don't think twice typically. So, or maybe after 3 or 4 days, he was smelling funky and whatever. But somebody had to see him, notice him, take the time and be like, "You okay, dude? Can I get you like a slice of pizza, a drink? Are you cool?" And then would he be like, "I just, I got in a fight with my spouse or my girlfriend." And they're like, "Oh, really? When?" 4 days ago.
Yo, Joe, man, shout out to the person who did his report. They got all the we got an ending to the story.
Okay.
I can't believe we got an ending to the story. Seriously, somebody did a due diligence. After hearing his unusual explanation, the police decided to let him go, but not before notifying his wife. And handing him a fine of 400 euros for breaking the curfew. They even got him a room at a local hotel where he spent the night until his wife arrived to pick him up. I'm worried about that. I'm worried.
Me too.
I'm worried about that. I'm worried about that relationship.
Is that romantic and endearing to the spouse? Do they say like any females in here? Is that romantic, endearing that he walked that and he's like, I didn't want to come back until I cleared my head and I didn't want to yell at you or say something I'd regret later. I don't know what the mindset was. And I thought that I'd seen it all, but that's pretty new.
Bro.
Don't you have to work? What about
259 miles, 7 days. Dylan Matthews from the Aussie has broken it down to 30 miles and some change a day. 30 miles and change. Are you kidding me? 37 miles a day if we break it down. Yo, this dude's the GOAT. I'm done with this topic, but he's the GOAT. I'm just gonna walk. You got on my damn nerves.
Yeah, that guy's amazing. I mean,
Dylan goes, I bet. Oh, boy's wife was white. Shut the hell up. Try to bring it full circle, man. Shut the hell
He's probably not wrong.
I can't stand this dude, man. Listen, he's Italian. I don't know if she was Italian, though. Over under their marriage lasts 2 more years.
I could either see them getting divorced immediately, or they're like, well, at this point, was she worried about him? This might be the greatest love story of all time.
Justin said, "What if they did an OnlyFans for walking?" I'd subscribe to that. I would subscribe to that guy's journey. You kidding me? You call it Only Walking?
If he had like a live feed or something, and I knew the context,
he had a live feed of his walk, and he was like just pissed, like talking shit in Italian. That's why Family Guy, like Peter walks in and he's in bobbity booby. Bobbity boop.
Oh man,
I would watch that dude. I would watch that dude all day, just be like,
I'm gonna say they stay together now.
Listen, this marriage is one of those marriages that will stand the test of time. She was so not you. Listen, she was so fine with it. She drove. Think about it. She drove. Because we all know, guys, 259 miles is not a short drive. Let's be real. That's not a short drive.
So she must care enough to go out and look for him. Like, did he have a cell phone? Did she?
No, Justin said his handle on the OnlyFans walking. So it should be Christopher Walking. Oh, this chat is stupid.
Miranda, I was thinking Forrest Gump immediately, but like for obvious different reasons. Although Forrest would walk forever for Jenny, no question.
I just ran, and Jenny sucks.
She's literally the worst person of all time.
Jenny, you suck. Gonna get on my dude's jock after he gets rich. Hey, Forrest, he's yours. I go, that ain't my baby.
Don't worry, she didn't last long after that.
She didn't deserve to.
She's like, I'm a flower child. I'm a flower child of the 60s.
Yeah. You could kick rocks, Robin Wright Penn.
She's like, but I'm actually a talented actress. That's not really. That's not what we're talking about.
Exactly. She's like, this has been following me around for my whole life. I go, well, don't suck so bad.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
I'm gonna be the man that. Would you say you didn't know what?
I don't care anymore. I know I'm gonna be the man that on you. He said, and when I go out, I know I'm gonna be the man that's going out to you.
When I go out, know I'm gonna be. If this podcast is not solving the world's problems, nothing will. There's nothing that will solve the world's problems if this podcast isn't doing this shit. I've slandered Denzel. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I've put John Ralphio on my top 5 greatest TV characters of all time. I told these haters Tom Cruise is the greatest movie star ever. We talked about black stuff, white stuff, blackface. And right, Dylan, you damn right. Shout out to the Proclaimers. When I go on.
So is Alexander still in here? Miranda still in here? Heidi still in here? The women.
Yes, the ladies. Though we have some women in the chat. Miss Miranda Baker. She's in the chat. Wifey's in the chat.
At what point do you think, honestly, the male ego took over and he's like, shit, I've been walking 2 days. You know what'll really piss her off? You know, I'll show her that I'll walk for a damn week.
Dude, this is why you're right. The only walk-in OnlyFans subscription would literally, dude, I'm telling you, like, you wouldn't get into the mind of this man. I appreciate you, Will Fast. We love you for listening, bro.
Johan, you're the best, man.
Yeah, like I want to get into the mind of this man. He's like, you know what? That was me saying, like, in Italian, in perfect Italian, by the way. In perfect. Perfect Italian. And he's like, I'm gonna show her. I'm gonna show her. See what I'm saying? Like, if you couldn't understand me, it's because y'all don't speak Italian. That's your problem. It ain't my problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the romantic languages. It's it's been around for centuries. You probably should have some understanding.
Yeah, it's not my fault. You guys can't grasp what I said. That's your problem. Boppity boopy. But I think you got something else on the docket, don't you, bro?
We got all kinds of stuff, man.
Let's go. I'll go all damn night. Lionel Richie, baby.
And when I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. So when I'm dreaming, I know I'm gonna dream.
I'm downloading that right now. Shit, I'm on Instagram. I can't download it. I'll download it after the show.
I'm gonna see. Can I get back on Instagram?
Oh, listen, ginormous is called into question my translation of Italian simply because my hands weren't handing. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah. That does mess up the translation. However, Dylan said that was in perfect Italian. Thank you very much, Dylan. It was. Yeah, how about that, Deb? See, now can you understand me now? But yeah, what you got up next, brother?
Where did I put that? Let's ride off into
go.
Let's ride off into the sunset on a fun note. We'll get back to relationship topics next week. We'll do a little race relations and everything. But so Evan, real quick, we'll probably have to do a whole show on the Oscars. Golden Globes just happened.
We definitely doing an award show. Stop playing.
Any surprises at the Golden Globes for you, or do you think that
zero?
Swear
to God, zero. None.
Do you think the Oscars will follow suit?
To a certain extent, the ones that are guaranteed in, so Killers of the Flower Moon is going to be in, all Oppenheimer stuff's going to be in. Barbie's actually going to shock the world and get Best Picture nomination. That's going to happen. Yeah. What else? Oh yeah, Holdovers is going to carry over and get in. The movie with Jeffrey Wright's in, American something. That might sneak in and win like a screenplay award. But yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm calling it right now. They ain't even put it out, calling it. But there will be some carryover because there's been some quality work, and I think Oscars are going to recognize snubs are always going to happen. But
There'll be some snubbage.
There'll be some snubbage because Golden Globes have so many more categories. That's why. But continue.
No, just yeah, man, and I know this isn't our wrestling podcast, but I think I could see Randy coming into the forefront and for a lot of reasons. A lot of people are talking about Randy Orton in the chat. And guys, I think Seth might be missing WrestleMania this year, so they're gonna be shuffling the deck quite a bit. We'll talk about it on Wednesday.
Yes, we will.
That's unfortunate, man. Anybody you want to see people sink or swim because of their talent and their hard work and their stick to itiveness, but you never want to see anybody get injured,
nope.
Obviously, but
never,
especially when Seth had what I believe would probably be the best feud of his life on the horizon. Because say what you want about CM Punk, we're not super fans of his on this show.
He's cinema.
He is. I just watched back the promo he did when he was talking about how the fans cannot handle anything complicated. So they like shtick and they like catchphrases and they like to talk about pie. And that's why The Rock's so popular. He said, so before The Rock comes out here and electrifies, and the crowd did everything CM Punk said they were going to do.
He's a maestro, man. That bad boy Gustavo Dudamel. Yeah, Heidi, if you didn't know, but Seth might be for real hurt to the point where it could upset the apple cart. Like the whole WrestleMania landscape could have just changed because of him being hurt. That's good. That's good for other people if this is true. It's next man up mentality. There's a lot of, like I said, WWE is spoiled right now. So only person supposed to be feeling bad for is Seth. Don't be feeling bad for WWE. They got a bevy of talent at their disposal. So just feel bad for the architect. But anyways.
Yeah, man. And again, I know this isn't a wrestling show, but we always.
Oh, but you know how we love the product and we love wrestlers and we know wrestlers. So our empathy goes out, and this show is as good a platform as any to talk about it. Okay, just ignore somebody who I actually care about.
Yeah, and they want it, and if the chat wants it, they gets it. So let's see if you're still alive. My friend's got a little juice.
Got a little juice. I'm cooking, brother. I'm cooking by myself, but damn it, I'm cooking. If you guys have joined us and hung up with this long, you guys are the best. This show is hilarious tonight because of y'all, as per usual. Shit talking in the chat.
The best.
John Norman's. Now I can understand you. I learned Italian living there for a year. See, that's all it took with my hands. All it took was the hands for him to get the exact and proper translation. When someone like me is speaking perfect Italian, the best thing you need to do is just follow suit.
Facebook, why are you changing stuff?
Why you want to change it up? When I go home. As soon as I get off this phone, I'm getting that track. I swear to God, I'm getting that song, boy.
And as soon as I get off this, I'm watching the Dark Side of Comedy, Family Matters. I don't care if it's $19.99 for one episode. I'm getting that bitch. And I'm gonna find out.
Evan might not make next week's show. He might be still walking. Listen, I might have to try to pull up on that dude. But I ain't mad. Next time that girl pisses me off, if she do, I'm gonna do it. I'm walking. I'm gonna walk from Pennsylvania to North Carolina.
Damn.
Yeah. I gotta beat him. I'm like, Heidi pissed me off, and I'm doing it.
So what do you guys want to talk about next week? I got some stuff on the docket that we didn't get to tonight that might be a little heavy to start getting into now, but
yeah, probably, yeah.
But we got plenty to talk about. So obviously we do some sort of pop culture rundown. We always got to do a little something on relationships. We always got to do it. Now I like talking about these racial relations, man. I think it's helpful.
We're gonna approach it from a respectful standpoint. So I'm always down, bro.
It's Evan's turn to think of something. That doesn't mean it's not ask a white guy, ask a black guy. He's like, I'm coming at it from this angle this week. And guys, I get messages through the week from a lot of you, and I know Evan does too. And you're like, hey, talk about this on the show, and we love that. It's not so we don't have to do any legwork. We'll do it. But like Johan was like, yo, can I ask this? I'm like, of course. And you'll get credit for it. So that's why Johan.
Oh yeah, we always put over anybody come up with a topic. You will get your just desserts.
That's why he wanted to ask what movie didn't do well at the box.
Oh, that's right. Dylan's right. Dylan said in the chat. Yeah, award show. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we gotta do that. We gotta do that. Let me see. Oscars are in February, I thought.
We can do Meesty awards too, of people who just deserve awards.
Yeah. We gotta do the first annual Meesties.
And speaking of, so my least, I wanted to do a Leasty of the person we haven't really.
Yeah, we got away from that. We got to make sure we fuse this podcast with hate.
Yeah, a least and a meest of the week. And
we have to do that. It's disgusting if we don't do that.
For my least of the week, I'm going Jimmy Kimmel. And because there's a lot of speculation out there about him being on Epstein's list and being in Epstein Island. Now, I said this before and I'll say it again because I know a lot of people in the entertainment industry. Evan knows a lot of people in the entertainment industry. I've never been to the damn island and I don't know anybody personally who has, but I can tell you things that happen. So before you jump on this bandwagon and you say so-and-so is definitely there because they're on some list, this happens a lot. So take it from me from what I've heard. Somebody may say, hey, Evan, you and your lovely wife have this movie. You've been trying to get it off the ground. We got $20 million. We love your script. All you have to do is you have to go to this exotic billionaire's house for the weekend. He wants to meet you, have dinner. He's going to show you around. You know, he thinks he's hot shit. He wants to show you everything he has. And if he likes you, he's going to invest in you. So you got to come meet him at least and have a dinner. You're going to say yes, especially when you're young and you're in the industry. No.
Why would you say no?
Now, whether anything nefarious happens while you're there or not, that is on you. Whether you feel like you can't leave, you're being held hostage there, and that doesn't mean you have to participate in whatever happens. But hey, so I know for a fact that people have had big time investors. Jeffrey Epstein was probably investing in a lot of Hollywood projects. I don't know what may or may not have happened or who was actually doing stuff. If the Clinton family or politicians there, they have no business probably being there.
But Bill, nothing looks good for Bill because of his past transgressions.
And the way his general reaction when people ask him about it. But so that could happen. Anyway, I'm going to go from this angle. Whether or not Jimmy Kimmel was ever at Epstein Island, whether he did everything, that's horrible enough in its own right. That's worse in its own right. I'm just going to take Jimmy Kimmel's the least. Because Jimmy Kimmel's not because Jimmy Kimmel committed a faux pas long before that. Jimmy Kimmel doesn't deserve a late night show because he's not funny to me at all.
Holy free holies.
And Jimmy Kimmel was on a show called The Man Show where they had a segment they cut to of girls with big boobs and no bra jumping on trampolines.
Doing blackface.
Jimmy Kimmel, your slate is not clean, my brother. You are not some wholesome family man that you portray yourself to be. Maybe you are now, maybe you've grown up, but there's some skeletons in that closet. And let's just call it what it is. I'll say once again, the whole point of me saying why he's the least, he's not funny at all. Name a whole send me a hilarious Jimmy Kimmel stand-up clip. Or the funniest thing he does is the thing where he hates Matt Damon for no reason.
That's clever.
That's the funniest thing he does. Other than
that's
that,
very clever.
But then again, there's a lot of late night hosts who I think suck. I'm sorry.
Damn, the least of the week, Jimmy Kimmel.
Like, because the Epstein thing, not so much. He's just the least.
Evan Mack's least of the week is a surprise. It's a shock. You won't see it coming, Jay. The least of the week is somebody that we know.
Ooh.
The least of the week is going to David Perry Jr. He made a top 10 greatest wrestlers of all time list.
Yes, he did.
And he put Shawn Michaels at number 9. Number 9 greatest wrestler of all time is Shawn Michaels to David Perry Jr. If that don't make him the least of the week, nothing will.
Can you take me higher? Like to number 2,
Who plays well?
Blind man see.
Agreed about Kimball. Miranda says, found him very funny. You are the least DPJR for this week and this week alone. Shawn Michaels at number 9, top 10 list all time. Insane.
I know Sean is saying, can you take me higher, please, on that damn list?
Apparently not on DPJR's list.
Can you take me higher?
You that is the most leasty thing I've seen all week. Kind of call a spade a spade.
I don't even care if the people in the chat right now are not wrestling fans. You know who Shawn Michaels is, damn it. And I got my top 10 list. I was supposed to do it. I'll do it on Wednesday.
Can't wait.
Let's just say
who's the Meest of the week?
The Meest of the week.
If you have one.
Yeah, I got that narrowed down to a couple people. Do you have one first and foremost?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. The Meest of the week. The Meest of the week. I don't even think I have one this week.
Nobody did anything good, huh?
Not to me. I like fueling this podcast with hatred. The least of the week, baby.
I know. I got a Meest of the week though. I got to go with Baker damn Mayfield as the Meest of the week.
Oh, you're right. I do got a Meest of the week. Go.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield, man, because I'm the biggest like ship jumper ever, because when Tom Brady went to the Bucks, I became a Bucks fan. But my freaking stepson, whatever you want to call him, Gabe, my kid,
Gabe G,
loves the Bucks, and he still does, and he's been a tried and true Bucks fan, whether Tom was playing well or not. After they won the Super Bowl and after Tom retired, he still has all his Bucks stuff. Thank God, because I don't got to buy him more jerseys. Likes all the players, knows all the players, and he was like genuinely happy. Loves that they beat the Eagles. We have the most obnoxious fans in sports in Pennsylvania here. I'm a Philadelphia Phillies fan, but all their Pennsylvania teams can kiss my ass, honestly. And the fans are terrible. So Baker Mayfield, 337 yards, I believe three touchdowns, finally getting a big monkey off his back, not winning any playoff games, and just a guy who, a lot of people have dismissed, and he's got a lot of grit, and apparently a really good dude. So good to see Baker Mayfield win. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Shout out to Baker Mayfield, the Meest of the week. Evan's Meest of the week is the Detroit Lions, the entire franchise, the entire organization, from the coach and staff, general manager to the owner on down to the players. I've lived my entire life without seeing the Detroit Lions do anything. Mm-hmm. I was bullish on the Detroit Lions in the early part of before the season started on ESPN, and I literally was laughed because when people get programmed to say, "Oh, that's Detroit," and I always say there has to come a point in time where you can't say that stupid joke, because you have to come up with some actual analysis, because eventually they're going to turn it around. Maybe not in your lifetime, but sometime they're going to turn it around. So do you know how happy I am to see that this team is one game away from an NFC championship appearance, 1 game away, 2 away for a Super Bowl appearance? That's insane. 2 games away for playing in the Super Bowl. Man, you gotta give your flowers to the Detroit Lions. They have a tough task this weekend, but I'm hoping they could pull it off, because that what's better than that? I don't care if you're a fan, you have to love when teams like that succeed. And so shout out to the Detroit Lions. Justin's Meest of the week is Jordan Love.
Ooh, yeah.
And he is fish grease. And San Francisco better be on their best behavior this week. They better be on their best behavior, because that Green Bay team has arrived early.
I don't care what anybody says. Everyone's like, "Oh, I knew they were going to be." No, you didn't see that coming, and you did
hell no. They arrived early, Jay.
The magnitude of that victory, the margin of that victory, you did not see it coming. You did not.
John Norman, Meest of the week, Jean-Luc Picard. Man, shut that.
Okay.
Shut up. He has to be doing something currently.
Is Justin still in the chat?
Which one we talking about? There's 2 Justins. I got Chef pounced out, but my other Justin, my main Justin, he's in the chat still. Yes.
I love both of them. So
yeah, got a couple Justins floating around. Brother.
Yeah, that's all.
Shout out to the Detroit Lions. Shout out to Baker Mayfield. Shout out to Jordan Love. Oh, shout out to Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah,
you guys drop your Meest of the weekend there before you get up out of here.
And again, there's still probably people who need to understand what the Meest of the week is. And
Jay, can you tell the people at home what the Meest is? They're very smart, because they think they heard the least.
Yeah.
I think they know what the Meest is, but please, can you just break it down for the people that are listening to this podcast before we get up out of here, please?
I mean, that's a spicy meatball. So, I'll
spicy meatball. Back to the Italian.
But honestly, though, Evan and I, in the mid 2000s, came across. Now we were always using hyperbolic phrases and saying, and using technical language and terms and
jargon.
Yeah, exactly. We have an extensive vocabulary. All right, we're very proud of it.
We have many leather-bound books.
One of one of the most hilarious things, Bill Walton came on the scene in the NBA and started doing commentary again. And he would use these hyperbolic words that were, and he talked like this, and it was tremendous. He said, all the most transcendent. Kobe Bryant literally blocked that shot from another time zone.
The most odiferous.
So he would start saying, oh, he's the most transcendent. He's the most prolific. So Evan and I took it a step further, and we would just say, he's the most transcendent. He's the most vivacious. He's the most splendiferous. He's the most coniferous. And so that eventually we were like, and then we just started saying, oh, you're just like the most. Evan would
like, this is the most. Then we just cut it to the most. Yeah, the most.
You do something funny, and I'm like, well, that's because you're the most.
Yep, I swear.
You're the most. I'm like, okay. So
then this is late night in Jay's dorm. Like, I swear it's like a top bunk, bottom bunk, maybe, or whatever.
It was like early because I had the bunk bed still. Not drunk, nothing. Just
I'm up in the top bunk, or I'm in the top bunk because every kid and grown man loves the top bunk. We still love the top bunk. Stop playing, because we were just it's an elevated bed. Who the hell don't like the top bunk? But and I'm laying down and it's late. It's late night. I go, Jay, what's better than the most? That's all I said to him. I had no idea what he was going to say. I didn't know what he was going to say to this day. I still don't know how he came up with it. And Jay, take it away.
And I was like, I don't know. The Meest? Meest.
And I think for a fact, I always give him credit for it. It's to me, some of our best things to me together is just always two-pronged. Like, he'll come up with it and I'll come up with it or whatever. I give him credit for it, but I will say this. I think I could have killed it there if I wouldn't have thought it was so good, if I didn't pop. I think it would have died right there.
Oh, it would have.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think about that sometimes. I think it would have died, but we're talking about 20 years we've been doing this. So
everything we've ever came up with that's good is collaborative. Whether who comes up with it first, it doesn't really matter.
When he said the Meest, I popped like one of my biggest pops ever, and I go, you have to be the me. So the only thing better than the most is the me.
And by the way, like, being the most is like basically you're like God level.
You think about it. So if you're the most, that's pretty damn good. If you were the Meest, you're like Thanos.
Like Thor or like Chris Hemsworth himself might be the most.
Yeah, that's the thing. And there's rules to the Meest. That's the most.
There's a whole like,
that's a different story for a different day. That's the annoying part. Like, you'd be surprised who is not the Meest. You see what I'm saying?
Like, oh, Evan loves LeBron. He's like not even close.
No. He literally is not even in the arena of the Meest arena by Jay. No. He's not even in it. Shout out to people in the chat, Samoan, Dylan. They understand. Their Meest of the week, the man who walked the miles, brother.
What's
like, somebody get this dude his flowers?
What's that dude's name?
I'm gonna look it up. His name is funky too. Hold on, let me see.
That's the guy right there.
That's the guy. Let me put some respect on his name. Oh, y'all don't want to put him on wax? Oh, come on.
I'm changing my Instagram handle to his name.
Yeah, come on. I want to know this dude's name. Oh, they keep calling him the man. Oh, now we guess we could come up with a cool name for him. Giuseppe.
Man.
Giuseppe. You have to be the. This show has been going on for 2 hours and 29 minutes.
Hold up. So they got the whole lineage of his story, but they don't put his name on there.
It got the whole story, chapter and verse, the ending, the cities he walked, but they didn't want to put him. Come on, man. You don't understand. You don't think I want to be this guy's friend? You don't think I want to go to this dude's crib and just have a chat? You don't think I want to interview this dude and be like, boppity boopy? Yeah, of course I do. I can't do my boppity boopy to him. I want to do my boppity boopy.
And he'll be like, oh, I fully understand what you're talking about.
I'm like, sir, I know you do because I'm speaking in full Italian. We don't know why you got to bring that up. Yeah, I'm like, sir, honestly, like, thanks. He's like, no, I'm just kind of, I'm surprised. We offend all. Yeah, bro, that might be it.
Love you guys that stick around to the end. It's never expected. Again, this can be it's Friday night. It could be a pregame show. You can pop in and pop out. Look, the weather's horrible, so if you want to curl up. Oh, and by the way, this will be up on all major platforms for podcast streaming.
Justin said, I got to get it right because I don't want to ruin it. That's the best thing. And he goes, we're dubbing him Giovanni Walking the Meest.
Damn. He can be an honorary Meesty. But
that's his name. That's his name.
Great name.
Thanks you guys for joining us, man. We really appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to Giovanni Di Meesty.
Giovanni Di Meesty?
He's like, oh, did you know Giovanni Di Meesty? The guy that walked the the guy who walked the mile. Yo, he would, he'd have been the GOAT if he, before he left, he was like, let's go. He'd be the GOAT if he did that.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit. Love y'all.
Elimination Chamber at 4 a.m.
Yeah, because since Dylan's place is in a different dimension.
Wait a minute.
I gotta wake my black ass up at 2 a.m. Yeah.
When is it?
Oh yeah, bro, for real. It's like two. I gotta wake up at like 1 or 2. Seriously.
Yeah, but it's not till February, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Why did that just come up now?
Because it's insane.
Oh, he just said, okay. He just okay. He just okay. I thought he was saying like, gotta go. It's tomorrow. I'm like, what?
Oh hell no, because Chambers after Rumble.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I said, the transitional pay-per-view that everyone think The Rock's pulling up at makes no sense.
No.
It makes no sense.
He might dude, I don't know.
He can show his face anywhere he wants. You jokers think he's wrestling. That's cracks.
No, that match won't happen there. I'm just wondering if now they really do. Oh, that'd be so anticlimactic to the they can't do that. Do you have Roman not get pinned but lose the title in this fatal 4-way? I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Like I said, this is the first real test of the great Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
The first real test. So let's see what the man comes up with.
Do you, I'll put it to you, we can even answer Wednesday. Maybe CM Punk and Cody have a confrontation on Monday. Is there any way you shift Cody over into the World Heavyweight title picture? I know that won't be finishing his story. And do you do a Punk and Cody at WrestleMania now?
I'm cool with that. Because Cody ain't beating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. He's not doing it.
I don't even think they're going to go be near each other.
Nope.
You still got to get him onto the right show first, guys.
It's what people don't understand. You guys, we are not that far away from the show of shows. We ain't that far away, man. Listen, the Rumble will let me know if I'm on the right track with me being like, guys, I don't know what's going to go the way y'all think it's going to go. But anyways,
yeah,
Be Meest.
Be Meest.
Wednesday we'll unpack. Appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Next week, if you're there, guys, next week. Yeah.